All right, so good morning, guys. Can you guys just all let me know by sending a thumbs up or in the group chat if you can all hear me? That would be great. Perfect, thank you. Obviously, sorry for starting a bit later, just waiting for other people to join to make sure that everyone who wanted to join was coming. Welcome to online learning. This is one of the weirdest things I've ever done, so I'm sure you guys are feeling the exact same position. So bear with me and I'll bear with you. But firstly, I just wanted to see how you're all going with the online learning, and I just wanted to let you know that, like, I'm here to help. I'm not here to make your lives any more difficult. Like, I understand at the moment this is a weird situation. So in regards to your health side of stuff, you just need to make sure you're communicating with me how you're going with it all, because I only know how you're going if you guys communicate that with me. So that can either be through eLearn or Zoom calls or whatever we need to do, but I need you guys to make sure that you're communicating with me as much as possible, because that's the only way that I can help. So I understand there's obviously a lot of workload coming from specific subjects and you guys feel like you're under the pump a bit. So just let me know if that happens to feel like you guys are coming from my side of things as well and I'm putting you under the pump, so that, like, I can obviously bring that back and make it a little bit more realistic for what it should look like. All right. Second thing is that I wanted to all sort of let you know that everything that we do in this term will be for your assessment. So any little template that you see on the learning place, any worksheet, anything we do is for your assessment. So I will let you know that with all your stuff on the eLearn, please just make sure that you are trying to, as much as possible, obviously.
So with the stuff on the eLearn, just make sure that you're trying as much as possible to connect to it and make sure that you are obviously trying to get the work done, because I'm not trying to give you any extra work. There's no extra work involved here. This is all just setting you up so that when you go to write your assessment, you already have the stepping stone, so it's a lot easier to do. I understand, obviously, there is a lot of work in some of the templates that I'm asking you to do, so please make sure that you're, again, communicating with me to make sure that it's going all right. All right, second thing that I wanted to ask is, how did everyone find week one's worth of work? So that's obviously, you guys, your chance to unmute yourself and ask some questions or speak to me about it. Like, was it too much? What didn't make sense? What worked well? What did you like? Because that's the only way that I can make sure that this is going to be better for you guys. So does anyone have any input from last week's work?
Miss,
Jaddy hears you are in class. Good to know.
Miss, the one that I was just most kind of confused about was the lesson 3, just finding the data. But then I saw that, like, for that you made it also like week 2 lesson 1s, and you had like a video there. I haven't watched it yet, but I just saw that you put one there.
Yeah, perfect. So with that's a really good question. So with all of your stuff, if you are following eLearn consistently, you'll find that on there there'll be nothing will be due unless it's told to you on the eLearn, if that makes sense. So with your work from lesson 3, the secondary data stuff, so if I share the screen, so I'm talking about this template. Hopefully, does that work? Can everyone see this template that hopefully? Yep, so with this template, the secondary data one, this isn't due till lesson 2 this week. So for you guys, that's Tuesday. But like, again, I'm only doing these roles. So I'm doing marking roles every Wednesday and Monday. So I really, like, your work isn't due till Monday, 8 a.m., all of your work. But if you follow the eLearn correctly, this isn't due till Tuesday for you guys in your class. The other health class is Monday, Wednesday, but you guys are due Tuesday. So just make sure that you're following the eLearn in terms of submission dates, and don't stress yourselves out, because like I will give you enough time to get work done. I understand you guys obviously have a lot of subjects and there's a lot of things that you guys need to be doing at home, plus also trying to make sure you all stay sane and safe and get some other stuff done. So follow the eLearn for submission dates, and that should hopefully help. Yeah, I'm trying to, for every new content that I introduce, provide some form of a video as well with it. So with this one, I put it into lesson 1 of this week, just because I wasn't sure if anyone would get to it last week. Most of you are actually really good and attempted it or tried to get to it last week, which I was super stoked about, but sort of surprised as well. So the video is there for you. So just have a watch whenever you get a chance and let me know if you still don't understand. But pretty much, if we look at that now, because that's the work for this week, what I'm asking you to do is pretty much click on the website that I provide for you, read the website. You might find your own information, and that's what I want you to do from that website, and just input it into the boxes I've got here. So if we look at this website, the first one, I found that the trends are really easy to find because there's a lot of statistics on there, and the fact that that then gives me information for my barriers and my enablers, because as we're aware, barriers and enablers are formed from trends, which we learnt last term. So you can sort of make inference here, but really this website for me, a lot of the information was around the trends that are forming on youth and youth and adolescents. So really, like, the only information I got out of this website was for this specific column right here, where my next one, I found a little bit more data in both. So don't feel like every website you've got to put something in every box. What I'm trying to get you guys to do is to research and read through websites, find the information that you think fits in each box, and put it there. So there might be a website where it just does not answer anything. That's totally okay. You've had a read, you've had a look, leave it blank. And then once you've looked at the websites that I've given you, try and find some of your own. So that's obviously your secondary data for your assessment that you're going to write a little bit later, that obviously you guys started doing last term. We need to be inputting those a little bit better as well. Also, whilst we're on the topic of what we're doing this week, so we're still obviously working on our mood templates, which everyone seems to be doing pretty well. From that mood template though, the only other thing that we are going to do is we're going to start doing like a primary assessment or a primary data collation. So you will need to, with your mood templates, you've obviously been doing the colouring really well, but some of you guys are struggling with your writing 3 things down. The problem with that is that when it comes to writing your assessment and like your recommendations, you'll need the colouring. When it comes to the river of life, which is part of the assessment, and your primary data collection that you have to do in lesson 3 of this week, you need the words that you've written down. So you need to make sure that you're writing 3 positives, 3 negative things that happened or impacted in you on a daily basis. That might be, you might only have 1 positive thing for that day. That's fine. Write something down, because as we're all aware, it's a lot harder to make stuff up later on than it is to just do it on the day that you're going to do it. Does that make sense? Thumbs up if that makes sense. I'll get it up for you now so that you guys can see what I'm talking about, so you know. So it's in your lesson 3. Again, it says it's due Friday, but as long as it's to me by Monday, it's not a problem. So from your mood templates that you've been doing for the past 2 weeks, if not longer, you will be going through and creating a graph, completing the table, and starting to put your information into a little bit more of an easier model to read and understand. And then from here, this template, the following week, we're going to start looking at how to put it into like a river of life. So this is significantly important because you're transitioning your immediate thoughts into some form of succinct statements, and then you'll put it into the river of life. So hopefully this is a good little stepping stone for you guys to understand the river of life a little bit easier when you do that in week 3. All right, so the only other thing that I really, really need to talk to you guys about is like, I guess, your submissions. So for this week, if you guys submitted anything, I marked you off as like getting the work done. But from next week, I need you guys to submit all of it. So like everything that I'm putting up is for your assessment. So really, you should be doing all of it. The only time that I won't, like the only time that you sort of can't submit all of it is if you're communicating with me effectively about why you can't do it. So really, so at the moment, like I've got some people who have just done the personal scaffold or who have only sent me through the mood template or whatever. So for this week, that was fine. I let it go because, you know, we're all still learning about what online learning looks like. But for next week, I need you guys to have done the secondary data template. Mood templates need to be finished and your primary data needs to be done by Monday. Does anyone think that that is a problem for them? If so, email me or put it in the group chat or tell me now, because we want to make sure that I'm making this equitable and easy for you all, because I obviously understand you're all struggling at the moment with this new online learning thing. Yeah, great question. Through group chat M. So yeah, still submit through OneNote. The problem is with OneNote at the moment, like as I'm assuming some of you guys might be aware, is like depending on the time of the day, depends on whether OneNote works really well or if it doesn't work at all. So ideally, can you please just submit via the OneNote, but then also just email me a copy as well by the Monday. So I'll check OneNote like as much as I can, as regularly as I can, but also just send me an email with the templates completed. Then secondly, with your OneNotes, if you try and submit prior to 7 a.m. and like after 7 p.m. at night is probably the best time. So like work in your OneNotes during the day or whenever you're doing it, and then just try to sync them either before 7 a.m. or after 7 p.m. is what we've found seems to be working the best so far. But if you've got your own little system, then keep going with that. But yeah, so I'll still be checking your OneNotes, but then also ideally I'd also love an email, just it makes it significantly easier for myself as I have a lot of you guys to be checking online for. Are there any questions whatsoever about anything else? Okay, this has been the weirdest lesson of my life because I'm talking to screens other than Shannon. So like, thank you guys for joining in. You guys are still as quiet as always. Good to know. So for next Zoom lesson, next Monday, I want to know something interesting that you guys have done. You'll all have to share and then I'll start talking, okay? So next week, video's on and you've got to share something that you did interesting over the past 2 weeks. I know that'll be a bit of a challenge because we're all in lockdown, but hopefully there is something that you have done that's a little bit different to everybody else, okay? See you later, guys. Have a good day. Let me know if you need any more help. Here to help, okay? Bye. Ella, I will sort that out for you. I thought I sorted that out last week, so I will email Shannon today and get that sorted for you and then email you back when hopefully you should be done. Otherwise, what I'll do as well is I'll send through the templates via email now as well, so you can get started if you want to start today or just whenever you want to start them. Does that help?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, thank you.
All good. Sorry I couldn't get that done earlier.
That's okay. Thanks.
All good.